All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to talk about something fascinating. How does a piece of music, and I mean, we're talking nearly 100 years old, end up with millions of plays online? What's the secret sauce? Let's get into it. Okay, so you see a number like 2.4 million views on YouTube. That's pretty good, right? But it's not going to break the internet. The thing is, though, the whole story flips when you find out what this video is. Because we're not talking about the latest pop hit or some viral cat video. No, this is something way more specific. That's right, over 2 million views for a set of tango songs from the 1930s. I mean, think about that. So what's going on here? What makes these particular tracks so captivating, so sticky, that people are still listening to them over and over again today? To crack this case, we got to figure out what we're actually listening to. And the answer really boils down to two things. First, you've got the artist, a total legend. And second, there's the format, the way the music is packaged and presented. You put those two together, and, well, you basically get a perfect storm, especially on the dance floor. So our first clue comes from a DJ, someone who's been spinning these tracks for ages. And for him, it's a no-brainer. He says, simple. Juan D'Arienzo. This guy was known as El Rey del Compás. That's the king of the beat. And his orchestra, oh man, it was all about this powerful, driving, just relentless rhythm. This wasn't music that, gently asks you to dance. It grabs you by the collar and demands you get on your feet. And what about the format? Well, that's called a tanda. Now, this is crucial. A tanda isn't just a playlist someone threw together. No, it's a real art form for the DJ. It's a super carefully chosen set, maybe 3 or 4 songs, all by the same orchestra, from the same era, usually with the same singer. The whole point is to create a very specific vibe, a certain energy. It's like a mini story inside the bigger night of dancing. But here's the thing. The absolute genius of this tanda isn't just that killer beat. It's the story. Oh, the story that unfolds across these 4 songs is just so powerful, so dramatic. You get a whole emotional journey, a complete 4-act tragedy about love and loss, and it all happens in less than 12 minutes. It's incredible. So let's go through it, song by song. Okay, Act 1. The whole thing kicks off at rock bottom. The song is Nada Más, which means nothing more. And that's exactly what it feels like. This is the sound of just pure, devastating, gut-punch heartbreak. Yeah, we are starting in a place of total despair. The lyrics, they paint this image of a soul that's just bleeding out from a wound while watching their love leave. This isn't just, oh, I'm sad. This is the absolute emotional floor. This is the foundation of grief that the whole rest of the story is going to be built on. Then we get to Act 2. The song is Piénsalo bien, which means think it over well. And you can feel that helpless sorrow starting to harden up a little. The whole tone shifts. We're moving from devastation to a really direct, almost stern warning. So at this point, our narrator, he's not just a victim anymore. He's actually warning his ex-lover, He's telling her, hey, this decision you're making is final. You can still hear a little bit of that longing, for sure, but now it's mixed with this edge, this sense of consequence. He's basically saying, once this door closes, it's locked for good. Okay, now for song number 3, La Bruja, the witch. And whoa, this is where the story takes a really sharp, aggressive turn. Any sadness that was left over, it's gone. It is boiled over into pure, uncut bitterness and resentment. You can just feel it. The spell is completely, totally broken. Yeah. That pedestal she was on, it's just been shattered into a million pieces. She's not his adored queen anymore. Now, she's a witch who had him under her spell. This is that moment of total disillusionment, where love just curdles and turns into contempt. He thinks he's finally seeing her for who she really is. And so the whole tragedy hits its peak. But it's not with some tearful farewell. Not at all. It's a final, defiant roar. The last song is Mandria, which means coward. And what's wild is, it's not even about her anymore. The focus has shifted completely to the new guy, his rival. And that's the final transformation right there. He's gone from grief
to warning, to bitterness, and now to this direct masculine challenge. He's taunting his rival, basically saying, "Here, take my coat, take my knife, let's go." He's just dismissing both of them with total contempt. The heartbreak is done. All that's left is this raw, aggressive pride.
Now, you can imagine, for a dancer, that emotional roller coaster is just incredible to interpret, so powerful. But that's only half the story. That's not the only thing that makes this tanda so effective. The other half? That's just pure technical brilliance, a secret that's hidden right in the tempo of the music. And here it is, the secret weapon, the technical genius that's been hiding in plain sight this whole time. This isn't just a story that progresses, the tempo does too. Each song is just a tiny bit faster than the one before it. We're talking climbing from 64 beats per minute all the way up to a driving 68. It's like a musical energy escalator, literally pulling the dancers along, building and building that momentum with every track. So this perfectly calculated climb in energy, that's why DJs call this tanda their secret weapon. It's just so incredibly versatile. You can use it to get people on the floor when it's quiet, you can use it to keep the momentum going after a really fast set, or you can use it to rescue the night if the energy starts to sag. It's just the super reliable tool for managing the whole vibe of the room. Okay, so let's tie this all together. Why? Why does this set of songs, 80 years old, still feel so raw, so potent, so unbelievably effective, whether you're on a dance floor today or just listening with headphones on the bus? Well, it really comes down to this perfect fusion of heart and beat. On one hand, you have this incredibly raw, universal human story of heartbreak, right? That journey from despair to defiance gives dancers something so powerful to sink their teeth into. And then, layered right on top of that, you have this brilliant musical structure that physically builds this relentless forward energy. The emotion fuels the dance, and the beat drives the emotion. It's a perfect loop.
And maybe that's the real takeaway here, isn't it? This D'Arienzo tanda is proof that the greatest, most timeless art, it's almost always working on more than one level. There's the surface level stuff, the emotion that we feel. But then there's this hidden architecture underneath, the mechanics that make it all click so perfectly. It really makes you wonder, right? What other masterpieces are out there, just waiting for us to find the secrets they're hiding in plain sight?